What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Friends After 40 podcast. What's happening?
What's up? How you doing?
What's
Thanks for having
going
us.
on? All right.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So,
Glad to be here, man.
this is the inaugural guys only episode.
Guys. I
Man.
don't think you can say
Fist
that
Pump City.
nowadays.
I know.
You're going to get some hate.
Well, if so,
Right.
the girls are doing it too. Like
Yeah,
we didn't
yeah.
just, we just happened to schedule it before the girls did. So let's just be clear about that. But anyway,
Equal opportunity.
so all right, it's Sunday afternoon. It's late October. We're hanging out. Got some friends, got some neighbors with us who are now also friends. Yes, it is Sunday. It's It's about 2:30 almost, and there is a game happening right now between Baltimore and Cleveland. Right, that's being broadcast right now
Yep.
on CBS, and they're missing a tight end.
Yeah.
That's because
Wonder where
our
they don't remember.
our good new friend right here, Mr. Nick Boyle. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And our friend Deep Singh's with us as well. And guys, what's up? Happy to have you on. What's going
Yeah,
on?
man.
It's awesome. This place is sweet. The whole
Yeah.
setup down here is sweet. Dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
thanks.
oh, this is some real. This is
official.
the real deal. This is cool.
He said he's never been in an interview like this. Set up
Really?
like this, yeah.
Not like a
Oh, wow.
podcast.
Yeah, on like
with
the
mic.
Ravens side, they don't do it right
They
over
do
there.
stuff, but that's more work. Like it's just all work. You don't
Yeah.
really have one for fun.
You're not
Like, you know what I
drinking
mean? It's not.
you're not drinking old fashioned.
No, not having old fashioned there. On the thing.
No, you're not having no fashion
No.
on any of those interviews?
Did you ever have a beer before a game or anything?
No. Dude,
Never?
I told you before, no one knew me like this, but I told you I never really even drank when I played. I would drink
Yeah.
probably like 3 times a year. So like
Wow.
he was in the summer more, and I see everyone in the summer, and I'm like, I've never drank this past like as much as I did this past year, my whole life. I think I
Wow.
probably
I think-
quadrupled it. He's
I
like,
mean,
Same for me.
he's like,
Yeah.
I never pictured you not to drink beers. I'm like,
I
yeah, I
know,
would
dude.
occasionally for like maybe 3 times, but like I was so wanted to optimize the whole time there and be the best I could be. So like I always had so much self guilt if I drank or like I ate a donut or something like that.
Oh,
But now,
man.
so but the bad part is that when I stopped, it's like, all right, I just eat 20 donuts now. And I don't feel bad.
But all the donuts.
But then I look at myself in the mirror and I want to slap myself.
Well, not to sound creepy, but your wife showed me a shirtless picture of you. And she was like, "Oh, you got to see Nick when he was all like, ripped
I was
up."
skinny. You said I looked sick.
I was like, "Yeah, you look like he had something wrong with him." I was like, "Dude, that's not you." He's like, "Yeah, man." It looked like his head was superimposed on the body.
Well, right. So if you Google Nick now and you see the picture that's in there, you
Don't look like
you look like physically fit.
What, back then?
Just
Or right
the
now? No, you don't.
No, you-
not. He's like, no. Again,
No, I mean you
was
eat
bigger.
20 donuts. So
Yeah,
I mean
no, I don't. Yeah, I'm not anywhere. No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
No.
Yeah, but I was way bigger. I mean, I
Yeah.
worked out every day.
You said
Yeah.
You know, and I played. I didn't do anything bad. Like I said, it was just workout. And for my first, Brock was born, my first child, 2019, after a Sunday or Monday night game. So like the first 5 years before that, like I just worked out, hung out with Tina, and played video games. Like that was the thing. That's why athletes play video games, because you know, if you want to be great and you want to find something that you enjoy that's not like partying or going out to a social event where you feel like if you want to drink or not.
Right.
So like I just play video games. You know, I see a lot of guys playing games. Like I would play. My bad thing would be me and my buddy Dan. We would play like video games till like 5 a.m. on our off day or something like that. That was the only thing, or in the off season. And I would hear Tina was a nurse at the time, and I would hear her getting up for her like morning shift, and I would just be like finishing up. I hear her walking upstairs. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to bed now.
When's the last time you played a video game? Like, I feel like
I only put him on for Brock a couple
Yeah.
times. I don't ever sit down and play now.
yeah,
I'd
it
rather
feels
go
weird. I
outside.
don't know if I would even. I don't even know if I know the control. Like, I just know the old school Nintendo was like 2 buttons. You couldn't screw it up.
Bro, you played video games in college, bro.
I didn't, man. I'm telling you, I didn't.
Yeah.
I was
Deep was busy doing all the things
I
that you were
was-
trying to avoid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, that's
I
always
was
so
single.
fun. But also playing games now, which I don't play or haven't played in a long time. But it's like the aspect of that is chatting with your friends, and it's not like calling on a phone. And it's basically like a social hangout. Like you're playing a game and it's
Yeah.
fun. But like if you couldn't play online and play with your friends, you know, and like have a bunch of buddies on there, no one will play as much.
Yeah.
It's really like
Yeah.
a social thing,
Yeah.
It is.
you know?
That's a sad social
is.
thing, bro.
No,
That's not it's like the saddest
yeah, because
way to
I'm
be.
not going out
It's
and
the
drinking beers at a
saddest-
bar, dude.
It
Like,
is literally the saddest way to be social,
no,
bro.
it's not.
I
It's
would
fun.
like playing video. I'd rather do
Not
this all
now.
day. Yeah, not now. Not
But
now,
back in
yeah.
that time, I still could do this now or back then. But I'm saying, like, what else am I going to do?
If you had,
What should I have done?
I don't know, man. I
Tell
would
me.
if I
I'll be
had the
like-
level of fame that you did. I probably would have used it as like a hall pass for like 1 week. Give me 1 week. 1 week. Give me 1 week.
No, I'm a homebody. I don't really leave. the
Yeah,
house.
no, you are a
Yeah,
homebody.
I don't
Yeah.
travel. I travel very minimally, only because my wife wants to get me out of the house and go on vacations in the winter. But I'm just a very homebody guy, like, or stay around my area. I don't mind traveling when I get there, but I hate going through the airport,
Yeah.
all the kids. And
Yeah,
there was one
yeah.
time when I was rehabbing in Arizona, we took like 3 car seats through the airport, 2 strollers, and all the bags. And I was like, dude, the security line is just it's a mess, bro.
Oh my
Now
god.
you
Did
said,
it, but
And
it
then-
wasn't hard.
So Nick, you're like 4 kids in,
4.
right? And you just had one.
Yeah. Doctor,
But-
man.
but-
now.
but we're- but-
Dr. Boyle.
Dr. Boyle.
Dr.
Yeah.
Boyle.
Dr. Boyle. There's a
Can
story
you-
behind
There's
there.
a story behind there. Can you tell people where you had that baby?
Yeah, I delivered my new son, Bruin, in the emergency parking lot, emergency entrance, right by it at the hospital. We didn't get to the hospital in time.
Let me set
Tried
the
to.
scene, by the way. I'll set the scene because we're literally over their house with all our kids are running around.
It's the driveway hangout club.
Yeah,
so
it
I'm
is.
a
The
big
porch
driveway
monkeys. We're the
hangout
porch
guy.
monkeys.
Yeah.
We just so we're all hanging out, and his wife is like one of the not a complainer. Doesn't she's just hanging out. Everything is normal. We must have just left their place, and we're like, oh yeah, let's meet up after the kids wake up from
Yeah,
that time.
nap
We'll play. And then I get a photo 25 minutes later of a baby. I'm like,
And there's like black there. There's
Yeah,
literally
black
like
top
black
line.
top below the vein, like you see in
And
the
his
background.
cord's
I'm like,
still attached.
I'm like,
I'm like,
what is going on?
And now he'll tell you what happened. But that's how quick that whole thing happened. We were literally
Yeah,
in
we
his
were hanging
house,
out.
and then 20 minutes later, he sends me a picture of a baby. I'm like, yeah, whose baby is that?
Dude, it was the
And
most
it's
stressful,
like-
most stressful drive of my life, and I'm never one like me and my wife and the kids. We've been in like rear enders or fender benders, whatever, and I'm
Mhm.
very calm in situations like that. And she'll get out and like curse the guy who hit us. Like, "Yeah, my kids are in that, car
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and I'd be like, no, relax.
Well, she had
I
your
was
big ass in the
shaking.
car. So.
I was shaking on the way there when she's screaming like, just don't have the baby in the car. She's like, I'm trying not to. And I'm
Don't
like,
mess up my leather.
She's screaming so bad. I honestly felt like my hands, I was driving like this and I had my 4 ways. I'm just swerving through everyone. And I called 911 too on the way because I was driving so fast that I couldn't search for the hospital number like on my phone while I'm trying to drive like that. So I should have, in hindsight, just called the hospital before we left the house and say, hey, I'm coming in. But I didn't think like that. So on the way, I called 911 and I wanted them to give me some guidance, like what to do. And I was like, hey, what's your emergency? My wife, I think she's gonna have a baby like really, really soon. And we're driving to the hospital in a car. Like, what should I do? Do you think? He's like, well, what do you want to do? You want to keep driving or do you want to pull over? I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm calling you, dude. Help me out. Or like, I'm also like, all right, if I pass cop, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I can't get in trouble, can I? Like my wife's I don't want to have the baby on the side of the road.
Right.
Like I feel better if I'm closest, to the hospital. And so I finally get there and I run into the emergency room and I say, hey, I think my wife's about to have a baby. I need a doctor. And the lady who's working there, she's like, oh, who's your wife's doctor? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm blanking right now. I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. I need a
Right.
doctor. She's like, she's going to call him. But then I hear Christina screaming outside. So I go outside and she's like right by the post. There's these posts you can't drive cars through, by like Target has the
Yeah.
big balls, like those posts. And she's leaning and she's like, I think his head's out. So I look and his head's like reached out like this. And I was like, all right. So I guess she just pull her pants down and push him out right here. It was like pushed him out. And there was a guy that was like from here 25 feet away who didn't get into the emergency room yet because I guess he was going to the hospital for something. But he was just sitting there like, staring. Tina's like, why can't you not help, dude? Go get somebody. And it just pushed him
This is
out.
crazy.
Oh my God.
I started gagging. The water broke and pushed him out. And I was like, oh, ugh. And I was gagging, dude. And Tina, she's like, you gagging, stop gagging. And I was like, and then it was crazy. So then I was holding him for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds till the doctor came out. Then they just brought the clamps and they just walk out casually. They just cut him.
He walked out casually?
Yeah,
no
they're
one
all
came
out
running
there.
out?
Well, the first lady who did come out after I was holding him with a towel was like one of the people working like a secretary, or the who signed people in the emergency. She's like, I'm not medical, but I got some towels. And I'm like, all right.
This is
And the nurse
This is
came
like
out.
some backcountry
It was crazy.
stuff. This is crazy.
But after it was happened so fast, it felt like a dream, and it felt crazy for 2 days after. And like, wow, that really happened. But now it's like, they had births everywhere back in the day. That's what I say. She was like, that is not okay to say.
It was common. It
It
was
is
common.
not.
But like,
People
it's
have
a
them in
baby's
bathtubs,
slippery
yeah.
too. So like, you gotta make sure.
But you were guiding them out of that thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the-
His wife says best catch of his life. So
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
no fumble.
It is.
No fumble
No
intended.
fumble.
She's like, yeah, just don't let him hit his head. Don't let him hit his head. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm trying not.
I'm not trying to look at the same time.
I'm like looking, I got him. Like, you okay, buddy? I'm like, Dude, I got a picture of where her water broke and everything in the washroom too.
Yeah.
She says, I hear you gagging.
Yeah. It was crazy, but it was like, thankfully there was no problematic things like cord wraps or anything that was bad. So it was very, like, I was worried that he wouldn't I thought you'd need to be in a hospital like normally with all like the devices and stuff around, like suction stuff.
Right, yeah.
And they came out and they were like, oh no, he sounds great. So I was
Yeah,
like,
Wait,
all right,
because
cool.
they literally use like two devices now. It's a scissors and just
Yeah,
a
they
suction
could clamp
thing.
him. Yeah, but
And
they didn't even suction because he was crying, I guess. But they usually pull him out and they start sucking, right?
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah.
don't know.
So that
but she
was
said
what I
it
wanna
sounds
ask.
like the nurse is like, he sounds great. I'm like, all right, cool. But like now I'm like, oh, you can have a baby anywhere. I don't know if it was a
He
good
said
thing
no.
for me to say because now I can say, yeah, you can have a baby now.
I mean, it
You know,
is.
Why are you planning on having more?
No. I'm just saying. But people, like when I talk like I jokingly, because it's obviously giving birth a really crazy like thing for women to do. But I joke around with Christine. I'm like, it can't be that bad, right? And then,
Well, listen,
I
now-
get in trouble all the time.
Now that you're in town, I mean, we have some decent urologists. It depends on who you talk
Oh yeah, I
to.
need to go somewhere. Oh,
Dude, Ramah's guy. I'm like saying,
You don't
get a
why?
restraining
What-
order against that dude.
I mean, I
man.
could tell that story.
I mean, it's
Oh,
a guy. It's a
boy.
guy's episode.
Yeah.
You might as well share a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, if you're considering getting a vasectomy, then I
Listen
don't know.
to this.
Spoiler alert! Don't watch this.
or
No,
listen
or
to
listen
Well,
to
I'm
this.
about to get one.
I don't know
bro.
if you
need
can
to get
drop the
signed
guy's
up.
You
name
said you're
on
about
here
to get
either,
one.
yeah.
So what I will I'll lead this off by saying that if you're gonna get one, go into the hospital medical facility. Let them put you under. Don't do what I did and get one in the office because
Well, you didn't get
It
put
was-
under,
so I didn't get put under. So
so
I
they
went,
gave you local anesthetic
so
or something.
they gave me local anesthetics and it's like the I guess he was a surgeon. He was a urologist. And he said,
But you guess he was a surgeon? Like, did you not check the
No, he was a
credentials of
doctor.
like?
I mean, when you go,
Hey.
so when you go,
Step one:
when
do
you
your
go-
research.
But come on, have you ever,
Make sure he's got
have
that
you ever gone to the
MD?
doctor's office
Yeah.
and said, "Let me see,
Let me get your credentials.
Yeah. You didn't even think. You were just like, yeah, don't put me under. I'm good. And
Which
then it was just,
I think that's something that we probably should be doing, right?
That's a- that's
I
a
want to see
precious
your
area,
degree.
man.
How did you do? What was your GPA? Like, how did you?
I mean, when they're getting down there, man, don't you want them to know? We want to know if it's like if that's a real certificate or that's something he printed off of, you know?
Yeah, but how do you know if it's
I
real
took
or
his
not?
word for it.
I mean,
what are you really gonna look at? I mean,
I
go
guess
to
you
a place
can
and
look
you
'em
put,
up.
I'm gonna
like-
look at it and I'm not gonna know what
Just
I'm
look at
looking
the
at.
reviews,
I was
man.
like,
Just review-
that looks good.
Like that is enough initials after your last name. We're good to go.
Yeah.
We're good to go. Yeah.
but you had
Right.
references on this guy though, right? Kind of.
So he was referred by my doctor.
Okay.
So my
all right.
doctor referred him. They were all in the same medical facility. I won't say the name of the facility, but it's a pretty large one. And I go to see him, and you do the intake or whatever, and not the intake. I guess before you go through the procedure, he explains the options, and he explained to me that we could do it at the medical facility and I think there was a wait because of course, you need the anesthesiologist and all those
Yeah.
folks involved. And he said, but it's a very routine procedure. We can do it in the office. I've done it all the time. It's all good.
I've done it like 3 times before.
So-
You're good.
But like,
It's like-
but you don't
it's-
question it. You're like, he's a dog. You're like, yeah, cool,
I don't
whatever.
question
my
it.
fastest way
Yeah.
to go do
I
it.
worked on
Just
my
do it.
dog
what it is.
yesterday.
Just fix my
I mean,
dog. Yeah,
and
just
he's-
fix
my dog.
I mean, he only has a limp for a little while. So I was working with a limp after this. So me and my wife, we go to the procedure because you're not supposed to drive yourself home,
Yeah.
of course, because you're getting a vasectomy. So I go in. She's waiting in the waiting room. They start prepping, cutting. So I will tell you, this is
So what?
This is
The
pretty
prep
funny.
is cutting something like.
so what they got, they got to cut a hole and go in, and then they have to cut the.
What do you think? They just
the-
go through
the
the
vast-
tip?
I thought it was
That's
like,
what
I thought it was like
it's
I don't know, it's like
Yeah,
laser
it's a-
stuff. Like, isn't there like technology hasn't advanced that?
No,
far
it's a
advanced?
scalpel.
Oh no!
Yes, I still have the scar.
Oh no!
It's a scalpel, and it was odd too, right? Because I was telling you that you get prepped, and the nurse came and she shaved me a bit, and I mean it's a
Feeding
very-
me breakfast and giving me a sponge bath.
very compromising, very
What's your wife
compromising.
thinking when you're getting shaved?
Position.
Is she in there when you're getting shaved or no?
No, she was in the waiting room.
Okay. Okay.
They let her watch. It's like, come on in, everybody.
Oh my god.
So I'm gonna, so let's fast forward a bit. So scalpel cut me open. He's digging. I still feel it. I was like, I feel it. He's like, oh, the anesthesia is gonna kick in for a while. I was like, well, all right, I still feel it. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you more anesthesia. So it's the local. So it's more needles going in that groin area. And I'm like, all right. So then we wait a while. Then he gets started again. He starts digging, and I feel him like plucking in there. So and it was first it was a pressure, but then it was like painful, and I was like, it hurts. But it, I was having like that out of body experience where you're laying there and you're trying to think that you're someplace else. It's like,
Oh,
I'm
no.
not-
Where
I'm
were
not
you?
here.
Where were you pretending to be?
I was pretending to be. I don't know. I just was
know.
pretending not to be there. So he's starting to sweat.
You're like
he
seeing.
is?
He is, and he's like, I've almost got it, or I can't reach this one part, and it's almost like he wanted to say this has never happened before.
Oh,
my
no.
goodness.
So
So
he
you
was
starting
digging.
to sweat now too?
Oh man,
Like, I
I'm
need to
so
go
worried.
somewhere.
Or you just
I'm
like
trying to-
stop. Like just stop what you're doing.
Well, you can't. He's
He
already in
literally
there.
is in there
I'm like,
It's
pulling
like
stuff.
just
What do
pull
you-
out till you find the right thing, man. You know.
so I mean, they have to go out, and they told my wife. I think they went out to my wife twice, and it was like, oh, they're having a few issues. Is going to be a little
Technical
bit longer.
difficulties.
Some technical difficulties. Please stand by. So
Crazy.
we'll fast forward to the end where he finally thinks he's gotten it right. So it's a clip, snip, and some burn. So you smell all that like you're awake and you
Mhm.
Clip, snip, and burn.
yeah.
Like this is you're not motivating me to do
that's
this.
not a tag. That's not a tag.
That's
That's
what
what
I
I
wanna
always
get
get
accustomed to.
accustomed
I
Yeah,
gotta get
that's
put
gonna
under
be the
that.
name of the
Yeah,
short.
yeah, go the other way.
So then he looks at me. He says, "I'm not sure that I got it completely.
Oh jeez.
So you may I may have to go back in." He said, "And we're gonna have to do it at the hospital, and you're gonna have to go under."
Oh,
and in my
my
head, I was
God.
like, I don't know why I didn't just do that to begin with.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But it turns out that it did work. But I was sore for a while. It's so funny because it was like right before like my wife's birthday. It's almost like I did it for her birthday.
So,
Because she was nudging me.
and the only way to find out if it worked or not.
To go test her out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a very high
I
risk.
know,
I'm not
that's-
sure if it's going to, if it's
Dude, that is
worse
No.
or not.
So
I mean, that's the difference between 18
Well, they
years
take
to
a sam-
21 years of
Yeah.
payments.
they take a sample.
Yeah. Millions.
Yeah, they
It's
sample.
They
You
take
get
a
this-
sample. So the we go to Boston, like, I don't know, maybe the following weekend to walk all through Boston. I'm limping all through Boston.
You got
because
bandages the whole thing down there, right?
Yes, there's a bandage down here.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah. I mean,
there
did they
is-
even give you that?
Yeah.
It's
There's a
like-
little tiny band-aid. No, I'm kidding. But that was my vasectomy experience.
Oof.
And I mean, I've spoken to a few people who've gotten them, and it was nothing like that.
Well, you know they
And,
do like Vegas snip parties now, right? Like that's a thing. You
Wait,
go to
you get a
Vegas.
snip party and you go to Vegas
you
for
invite
it?
all
Like,
your buddies. You just come to Vegas. You get a suite, and they come do it in the suite. And it's like then you guys party the rest of the weekend.
This just generation is that's just out of control.
Is that right? Is that
That's just
crazy?
out of
It's like a
control.
bit- I know somebody who's been to one of them, and it's like
a
a
snip party.
you go to Vegas, you get a suite, you like maybe ice your balls for like a couple hours, and then you're out.
Just go.
You know, It's like
and so
let it burn.
if it's a snip party, they're not going under. They're getting
That's
local.
what I'm saying. I would never do that now after your story.
That's
I need
right.
to get put to
No,
sleep.
man.
That's
Please
right.
put me
That's all
to sleep.
local anesthesia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, my wife wants
So-
me to get snipped. I'm just like, it's just.
I mean, I do recommend it, just not the way I did it.
yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I just
Come on,
I don't
man,
know
just
how.
go
I
get it.
So, Nick,
nothing.
are you saying you don't want this person's phone number?
No, I think I don't know. Watch me get referred to the same guy. And I'm not going to know it's him until he's like, well, I can do two ways. I can do it right here in the office. So I can go
You'll be
there.
like,
Like, oh, no, I know it's you now. No,
He's like, I changed my mind.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't think I'm going to get this.
I'm gonna get find me a different urologist.
yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
Well, the
But-
funny thing is, we're all local, right? So we all live in the same town, very close to each other. So, so we're talking about local physicians where we're trying to figure out what the referral process is going to look
By
like.
the way, these two stories sound like we live in the back country.
Yes.
He's
It
giving
does.
birth in a parking lot. You are
On a
like,
table.
wait, where do we live,
Yeah.
man? You guys live next to any
That's
cell
on a
service?
old
You know, like
dusty
Yeah.
table.
It does sound like that. It,
It
makes
does
it sound
sound like
awful.
we live
Yeah,
in
we
the
got bad
boonies,
doctors.
man. Yeah.
So I mean, Deep, you've been out here now 4 years.
4 years,
right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like back and forth to New York.
He's a
right?
part-timer, man. He's not a real
Yeah.
one.
Right.
City slicker.
So you've been coming out here back and forth kind of part time, and I think we're all working our way to try to convince you to come out here full time. So
Yeah, man.
let's talk about that a little bit. How are you feeling now that you're I'm guessing this, right? But we've talked a little bit now that I've got to know you a little bit. You're meeting people, you're meeting more people in town, and you're kind of, you're doing what you do. You test the waters with different
Yeah.
people, and you associate here, associate there. Oh, I'm not going to talk with that person. I'm not going to talk with this
Yeah.
person. But let's talk about moving out to the sticks.
Yeah.
And
well,
do you see that as kind of like a full-time thing?
I mean, not after hearing these stories. I'm not, no doctors out here, but
No,
I mean,
it's doctors. You love it.
yeah, we
you just can't
obviously
drop
live in
he's
a
a city boy.
very cool like community. It's like a very cool community. Benefits of both, right? Like having you can get involved in, or you can like stay. I would say the first year we were here, we and a lot of people keep things nameless, but we just had a very different impression of it. It wasn't until we like kind of met you guys and Nick, me, but we felt like it was a lot more out here than in the city of like keeping up with the Joneses out here.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, what does this person have versus what that person has? And me and my wife did not want to get caught in that kind of culture. It's like that's a tough way to live, especially if you're out here, because it can feel like you can make it as isolating as you want. Not in the city. In the city, you're just like out and you got
right.
the smog in your face. It's like it's a different, but you can kind of, it's easier to pick and choose versus here. You really have to be like, like invested,
Yeah.
But now after, I would say that first night we had here where we're like, oh, well, I don't know if this is going to be for us. Then like the next summer we finally like, they kind of moved and we hung out with you guys, and it's been to the point where, we're started looking at schools out here, and I think we're,
That's dope.
trying to think to be out here. But I still love the city, man. I do
I
love
mean,
the
you
city.
can't get
I
out of the
love
city,
the
bro.
city. I
I'm
still
not-
love
Bro,
the
the
city.
city's
I
the
can
best,
get food
bro.
any
Go
time of
anywhere,
night.
get food.
You
I mean,
know,
I love the
like
city
I don't have to
too.
worry about the doctors I see over there.
You got to worry about them in the city too.
Yeah.
It's just not as bad, man. I'm not worried. I'm not worrying about having like I could be at a hospital in 2 seconds. I can walk to the hospital.
Yeah, true.
I don't have to worry about giving a birth in the parking lot. Things
That's
like
what's
that.
that's what's fun about it. It makes it better.
So you having another baby?
All these stories are just motivating me to stay as far away from any kind of.
Come on, just one more.
My
Yeah.
story is about not having any more.
Yeah, but
His story, Well-
that freaks me out. His story,
Yeah.
like he's got 4 kids under 5.
yeah,
That's a lot of kids.
like you're outnumbered.
The
bro.
fourth one's he's the easiest one though. The third one, my second youngest, Brenna. She
Yeah.
used to be the hardest, but now she's getting better points. So like I rank my kids randomly per day with my wife. Like Blakely, you're last today.
They may listen to this.
Brenna, you made it to the second round, and Brock, you're still the first one, dude. I'm like, oh, you're gaining points right now. You're gaining points. No,
They may be able to listen to this at some point, man.
I'll tell it to
Yeah,
them.
their face.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're our
they're good.
demographic.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing is like you guys are kind of fine, like I envy the position you guys are in. You guys are in a good spot where you guys can kind of we're just like getting out of it, so you have to roll this rock. That's what I told him. I was like, my wife would do it, like have another kid in a heartbeat. She like sees their kids and was like, oh, don't you just want one more? I was like, no, absolutely, like I don't.
He said, quote unquote, I got no more love.
I was like, I don't have enough love.
He
I was
said-
like, I really don't.
And you don't want to be outnumbered.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
outnumbered. That's the other thing. It's like
Yeah.
once you get that rock up the hill and you're on the other side of it, why would I want to do that again? He's like,
Restart
but
it.
look how cute. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I mean, I have a huge gap in between my last one and the first two. And my friends were like, what are you doing? Like, you're ruining the dynamic
Yeah.
of the friend group.
Yeah.
But we made it, and they managed to deal with us. And but she's 13 now.
I know. So you're on
so
the other side.
now I'm on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the other way around. He's trying to tell me, him and his wife are like, you guys should have one more. I'm like,
I'm
you
only
get
doing this so I can see you get the dog. I'm looking out
He's
the
pushing.
window.
They're pushing us to have another kid. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What are you guys
You
I
talking
just
about?
want you to be in like the thick too. Let's get into it. I don't want to be
That's
lonely
like-
in the thick.
That's heavy stakes stuff. Yeah,
I
he's
know,
like,
right?
I want you to feel
Misery
my pain.
loves
Yeah,
company,
yeah.
over here.
I want you
Yeah.
to come through it too.
Not to
Yeah.
say that people are miserable when they have little children.
Yeah.
See, what's going to happen is Nick is going to be sitting on his front porch, right? And he's going to see Deep and Caitlin just pull out and they're going out to go have a good time. And then Nick's still
Yeah,
running
yeah,
around the
that's
yard
exactly-
trying to like chase
So,
after all his kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
That's
I mean,
what
but
he was
they
worried
always
about.
now when if he's here all the time now, like my kids are just asking, like,
yeah.
when's Savvy coming back? When are they in the city still? Are they in the
Yeah.
city?
Yeah,
But now
they
every
see-
time they're outside, they just run over there now.
Yeah,
They just go
no,
vice
it's-
versa. It's
that's
just
awesome.
like
That's the different thing. Obviously, you asked that question
Yeah.
for
Right.
the kids, right? So my kids, when they're here, it's like literally, they just run across the street and they're
Yeah.
playing. It,
Yeah.
like,
Driveway hangouts
we're
and
not
that,
doing in the,
whatever.
like, I can't let my kid be 3,
No.
feet from me in the city,
Yeah.
And it's not like that type of thing is something you weigh a lot. But I still love the energy of the city. It's tough
But you
to
can still
replicate.
go back and forth.
I know we could, but yeah, I think
you can still keep doing that.
yeah, we
Be a
can.
part-timer.
We can't. We have like a good, thing. But at some point, So my cousin just bought a house next
Right.
to us too, right? And that was like now it's like
more.
everyone. We got such a good thing here. And my buddy started telling me he's like that's the ultimate flex. You start bringing the people to you,
Yes.
before you actually commit
Right.
to staying there. You bring everybody.
He's not even there all the
Yeah,
time.
he's
He's like,
not
yo,
even
come
free.
live here. It's the best place
Come,
ever.
come move to my street.
Yeah, I'm not even
I mean,
there.
I'll be back around. in
I'll
2
see you on
weeks.
Thursday, but come,
Yeah,
come
just
on.
hey Nick, can you check on what's going on over there? He's like, just have everyone else checking on your house.
I got left the water running.
Yeah,
Can you go?
Exactly, free maintenance. It's nice.
That's true, though. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I
You
know,
say yo,
man.
Nick, come through, but in the winter I won't see you. That's what he's like.
Well, I don't even think about it because like when we leave, we like leave the trash cans out, whatever, and then we come back, they're magically just put back to like it, by and like it's I don't know who it is,
Like
but
it's the kids
his
we
wife,
just do it for fun. Like,
his
getting
wife and Nick
outside.
do it all the time for us, so we don't even think about that
fun.
type of stuff. They just do it, which is nice, but
It is, yeah.
like that's like when you have more people around, you can get away with a little more,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice, but we're not leaving the city yet.
Yeah.
We're not leaving the city yet.
We got some more work to do.
Yeah, you guys gotta,
a little more work.
a lot
I mean-
more whiskey, a lot more whiskey to make
A
that
lot more
decision.
old-fashioned.
Yeah,
A few more podcast episodes and a few more old fashions.
Yeah.
and maybe one more baby. Yeah, that would be the tipping point. I think it would be one
You
more
have a baby,
baby.
would
we're
you stay
out
out here
here.
full time?
Yeah, man.
What would that be? Why would that be the biggest difference though?
I just think I couldn't do 3 kids in the city.
Why? Because it's just more.
Yeah, I just think like
It's a lot to do.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. Like
It
it's
sounded
easier.
more like an announcement more than
No.
maybe.
No.
I don't know.
So
was that
everyone-
breaking the news here on the pod?
Someone else is moving out here, be like, all right, okay, congratulations,
Yeah.
dude.
You would throw a party, man.
I
You'd be
throw a
like-
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not. Nah. It might have to be with another guy.
Yikes. Deep.
So all right. So last night we all went to a party. Your guys' first local. There's a big Halloween party that is thrown in town every year by a good friend of ours, and
He's got marks to show for it.
right. We've got some
You got some
Yeah.
Battle scars.
some
Yeah.
battle scars.
That
from,
didn't happen on the field.
walking through.
gridiron.
Well, it's in like a 120-year-old barn,
That
right?
part's
So
sweet.
that barn was pretty
I
fun.
thought it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
what
was
was like your first impression of a local town party here?
Oh, Nick fit right in,
I
man.
thought it was cool. I mean, well, I grew up at High Point, so like there's all barns and.
That's right. You
cows and
grew up
everything.
close by, right?
Yeah, 25 minutes.
25 minutes away.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm used to that, but I think it was cool. Like,
It was
I
cool.
love having when people have like. He's got his own like compound there, dude. He's got the goats.
Yeah.
The goats are sweet or whatever.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah, yeah.
everything. It was an awesome
He
place,
does.
and it was just a really cool event.
Well, we were
you know,
talking
I
about it for a while. Like the way you guys described it, I was like, this sounds like out of a movie. And then it was even more like it was kind of creepy. Like I told you, we walked in, and there was like we were one of the people. We were there before you guys, and in the real house. So it's like I don't know if you guys have described it, but like they have the real house, and the party's like maybe 100 feet in this barn. But in their real house is like kind of also staged for Halloween.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I thought it was just their real house. You walk and there's like a dining table in their basement, and there's like knives and like antlers on this table. It looks like human sacrifices are going on here. And I was like, what is going on here? So I was a little freaked out at first, and then
That
we
was
met
cool.
him, and he was
Yeah.
he was
He's an
cool. I was like,
awesome
yeah,
guy.
so what's going on in the house? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, that's just all staged. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That was our first dog.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was our first dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first set of animals that we had here on the farm. But
I was like,
yeah, no, we love going to that party every year,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun. We've been doing that now, gosh, since like 2016
It's crazy.
at their old place first, and then when they moved to the farm, we were a bit concerned early on about the farm or at least the barn and its stability because it's really old, right?
Oh yeah.
Somewhat rickety and stuff, but over time it's been reinforcing it every year and doing new things every year. So that's been a lot
I didn't
of
even
fun.
think about that until we were all on it, and then I think your wife Janine said something like, "Oh man, I don't know if this floor is gonna hold." I was like, "Wait, what? Hold on a second."
You're like, I'm out.
You didn't check the doctor's credentials before you walked in the building? Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, it's like, I didn't even think about it. I was obviously had been drinking. I was like, yeah, this thing's shaking a little bit.
Dude,
The
it was
floor was
sweet.
shaking a
Let me
little
tell
bit.
My wife is always looking. She wants to know where the exit is.
She
She's
knows
like,
the escape
but that,
plan.
and that's the city.
Oh, that's the New York
and,
mentality.
She's like, all right, okay, I don't know. Let's see how it works for y'all first.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa and I had planned our escape routes before the party yesterday. She was like, "You're going to be by the sliding door in the back. Does that open? You make sure that that's open." I was like, "Yes, that does open." I was like, "You probably need to stay
But
on
like
the
in
other
case of a
sliding
fire,
doors."
what do you guys think is happening at this party?
I mean, look,
It's like anything. Or I
Anything.
didn't even think about the floor. until she brought it up, and I was like, "You're right. This doesn't seem right." This like the floor was like
Was
at
it
one
really
point
bouncing like crazy?
it was bouncing when we were all like, there was like heavy techno being played at
Yeah.
one point, so people were just like,
The Big Santa was jumping up. And
Big
down
Santa
back
was
there. He
jumping up
happy
and
to be
down,
moving that
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thank God that area was reinforced because I was a bit concerned even about that area
Yeah.
because that wasn't as reinforced as it is right now. And I was
Okay.
which is why I did not stand back in that area last year. I was in a different spot last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you weren't? Where were you last year? Were you
I
up by the
was-
pumpkins?
I
In the sitting
was
area?
on the opposite side,
Oh.
underneath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the opposite side, underneath.
That whole setup is really cool,
It's
though.
cool,
That whole
yeah.
thing, like they have like the pool and they have like that old pool house type thing. We couldn't even see, it was dark, but you said there's like a baseball field there that you guys
Yeah,
play
there's this
at?
big like open wide field
It's
where
crazy.
this past Labor Day held the first annual Labor Day Classic softball game, and the guys were so into it that they actually mowed the field down,
That's crazy.
right, in specific areas just so you can for the baseline running
Okay.
and for running and put bases in and everything. And I think next year we might paint some lines and cut out some more to make the home run area a little bit longer, a little bit more
Are
distance.
you like hitting the ball in the cornfields?
Yeah, our agreement was like 80% is enough,
Okay.
like on your swing. But
Yeah.
after a little while, we were
that's
like,
tough.
screw it, let's go for it.
Sounds
And-
like Field of Dreams, though. Sounds kind of
yeah,
cool. Yeah. Like,
yeah. It was very Field of Dreams. Like it was actually fun. Ramahn was there, Janine stopped by, and Lisa was there.
I feel bad. We keep wanting to invite ourselves to all this stuff. Like we pretty much invited ourselves to this thing last night. Yeah, I was like, you gotta invite me to that thing too. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that
was
was a
cool.
lot of fun.
The Halloween party's open invite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
people-
like
Yeah, people just show up.
How many people do you think are there? About.
Last night,
There's a lot of people outside
I
too,
don't
and
know. Yeah.
inside. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like you don't realize you walk outside and you see a crowd of
But
people
it
outside
looks
too.
smaller than
I think
Past
last
years,
night's crowd was a
previous years.
little smaller. I
It
don't
was
know if that's
smaller than previous
intentionally
years.
or
Yankee game or something.
Yankee game. People just had stuff to
Yeah.
do. By the way, the game was playing downstairs. Did you
I
see
know.
inside?
There was people took. So that was the one thing Mike texted me saying, as long as you take because you guys facilitated that. We got invited, so we appreciate that. But the one thing he told me when he texted me was like, you got to take the costume seriously.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, all right. I haven't dressed up in like 12 years, but when we went to like watch part of the game in the
Oh,
they had a
that
little-
one guy.
they
was
have like
down there.
like a horse dungeon,
Oh, yeah, it's
whatever.
like
it
that
was.
little
It's
stall.
a
Yeah.
eating area.
It's got some
It was-
bars
it was-
behind it.
We're gonna have to work on him to get him to move out here. We're gonna move
It's set up for
Feeding
selfies.
area, whatever.
Yeah.
It's got that little. Yeah, it
I'm
looks
a
like
city
it looks
boy.
like a prison, dude.
It
That
looked like
one
a
guy
prison.
down there was just like
Dude,
super.
It's
into
like the Man in the
character.
Iron Mask type of prison
Dude,
setup.
people didn't break character in there. There was a guy in like the one of them was
It was like a
the
mask from here up and
Texas
crazy
Chainsaw
eyes.
Massacre, and he's watching the game, and it looks like if you walked in and took a picture of it, it was that guy. There's another dude in some other weird,
all black. Remember
yeah,
that
it was
straight
like
black
the
guy was
Darth
just
Vader
staring
type man.
straight? Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're watching the game with their masks on and not breaking character. Like we walk in, try to introduce me and him walk in, try to introduce ourselves,
And
right?
he just like turned to me. He's like,
With his crazy eyes.
like he literally wouldn't talk to me. I'm like, bro, I know you have a voice over there, dude. And he was like, I was like, it's freaking me out.
But it was
now.
so weird. I was like, "Oh, Yankee game's on. It's awesome." And I was like, "Nah, we're out. I'll watch it on my phone. I'll watch it on my phone, man. I'm not sitting
You're gonna put
in
you
this
in the
horse
cage in the
dungeon
back.
with these weird dudes." I was like, "We're out." Yeah,
No, it's a cool place.
it's a cool place. Yeah, we want the invite again next year, Mike.
Well, you have 364 days to figure it out,
Figure out
Right.
your next costume.
as opposed to some of us figuring it out.
Yeah.
within
last
hours.
minute, yeah.
Well, what's cool about here, though, what I feel like is now, what I was talking to Caitlin about last night, it's like everybody feels like they have a thing. Like if like somebody's got like a St. Patty's Day parties, everybody goes to this place, or like, I guess now Labor Day has got to be us. We got to throw the beer pong party, but like throughout the Schwartz has got the holiday party,
Yeah.
which also that was my like first. That's the first time I met you.
That's
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that moment. There was
Yeah.
like you walk in. There's like that. It's the only other time I've experienced this. I was in Australia. There's like only white people, right?
Uh-huh.
So we walk in, and me and Ramahn like kind of like eyes. He's like,
Did you do the whole?
He gave me the nod.
You get that
you know,
nod?
He's like,
He got the
yeah, he's like,
he got the in
yeah,
the
we got
city,
the nod. But it was like, no joke. His kid was like playing like Neil Diamond.
yeah.
And then next thing you know, it's like, oons, 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 DJ Gov on the ones and twos. And then that place just turned out. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So everybody kind of has a thing. And I think that's like really cool for that's the argument to be here. Yeah.
That's it's so funny because my wife sits in that chair and she talked about all the parties that you get invited to and a social battery and trying to maintain some level of energy to make it to all of those parties. I tell
Yeah.
you, last night I was dragging ass. Like I was
Yeah?
like,
Yeah, you were a little
I
tired
was,
when you first showed.
I was
literally-
like, oh man, I think I'd rather go to bed.
Yeah.
But when you get there,
it's fun.
it's fun.
But like
Yeah, it
getting
was-
there sometimes.
But
you always say,
I was definitely dragging ass
Yeah,
until I
yeah.
got there.
You had me worried a little bit. I saw the 8:30 to 9. I was like, oh, that's borderline. I'm not gonna come type messaging.
No,
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I guess I was on
Yeah,
group text. I was like, oh man.
yeah, I I was gonna go.
That was 5 nights in a row for I think most of like you were
I
drinking.
did 3
Yeah,
nights
that was 3.
sometime.
I was like
I slept
5
on the
in a row
couch
for
3
me.
days in a row.
Yeah, and I
didn't
didn't.
go upstairs because she wakes up and feeds him every 2 hours. So I don't
Oh,
want to
okay.
go up like late.
Yeah.
Or like when my cousin came over and I didn't get up there till like 2:30. I'm not gonna walk in the room and wake the baby up. So I just
Yeah.
I hear
3
you.
days in a row I've been on the living room couch. So
Yeah.
it's like,
So
wake up to my kid come down and tap my head. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, guess it's
But-
time to get up.
it's dope, right? Because you had your career, and I guess you're gonna transition into something new. Or I don't know,
That's
but
not
you're retired.
Yeah.
You fucking retired.
Yeah, it's cool.
And
There's times though where I seek to do something, but that's why I'm like, see, I'm watering my grass every day, like weird stuff that I didn't usually do. But I will find something. I think I maybe want to get into maybe like high school coaching or something on a smaller
That would
scale
be
because I don't
dope,
want
yeah.
my time to be through the roof. And I look at as in like with my kids these ages, if I'm able to stay home for this part of their life and be with them a lot, like that's something really cool. I think that will really, be fulfilling for me and them, to be able to hang out with my kids all day, drop them off at school, pick them up, do stuff around the house, help Christina out with everything. So it's cool, but there's times where I'm like, I need to get out of the house. It goes back, back and forth. You could escape for 3 days,
Yeah,
you go
no.
somewhere, but when you're there all day, it's still fun. But there's times you're like, oh, maybe I will go back.
Well,
But then I wake up like, nah, I definitely want to go back.
But didn't you tried like what right after you retired? You tried to do what the long snap with the Giants.
Oh
for
yeah,
a little bit.
a long snap. Try to like change it because I tried to go to college just the long snap. But I didn't think I could play to that. And so I kind of had a good fundamental. Like I went to a couple camps. Good, like I was pretty good long snapper. And so if I went to the Steelers rookie mini camp to do a little tryout. And if I got signed right then and there, I would keep going. But if I didn't get signed, I'm like, I'm done. I don't have the ambition to snap in my driveway and like to work on this for a chance. But if I got signed right then and there, I would have done it. But they're like, I didn't get signed right then. So I was like, it's good. It's
Yeah,
closure.
I think about when I wake up in the morning, everything hurts now. Everything still hurts. But
Yeah.
he's like,
Dude, my
when he
knees
tells me,
killing
he's like,
dude,
he
every
wakes
day.
up and it's like, dude, the toll that
Gotta
takes
pull
on your
the
body,
choke,
man.
give it a little prime button right here.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
you're starting
man.
engine up.
Yeah. The toll it takes. You gotta see that you got a nasty scar on
Yeah, I
your.
got 3 big scars.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
really?
knee's still loose. Oh yeah.
You ever seen
I
the
could
picture of
play
the
with
injury
it.
that he had on
No.
Monday Night Football?
No.
Oh,
you
dude,
see- yeah,
you
that
gotta
show, too.
I don't even feel like it's like, it's crazy.
we're gonna put it up at the same time.
It's crazy. Like this Monday Night Football.
That's
Christina tells the story. She was home pregnant because it was like COVID, and
We make it sound like she's always pregnant.
yeah, well, I mean,
She has been always pregnant.
She's been for the last 5 years. They got 5 kids, man. Yeah. But she was home pregnant. He's on Monday Night Football, and he gets carted off on the field. Like, I'm like, dude, what's
Oh,
going through your
man.
mind at that point? Like, like, I don't even know. Like,
It
did
didn't
you
really hurt then. I was just on adrenaline
didn't
stuff.
hurt?
Not right then. The surgery was bad.
Dude, this dude, his scar is crazy, but his knee.
it's hard to
If
see this
that
because it's a
back the
blur.
other, like
I
this
can't
way.
look at it.
You gotta look at it,
You
man.
can
You
see
gotta
it.
look at
Hold
it.
on, it's hard to see because
Oh
it's a
my
blurry
God.
picture. But then my leg goes
Oh, that is
like.
not blurry. Oh my God.
You see it?
Ow.
Actually see it?
Oh my God. Can you see it? It's in the other direction.
Yeah, I told you.
No. Turn it away.
Yeah.
Turn it away.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, you guys
my
just get
God.
dude,
Bro,
isn't that
That
crazy?
didn't hurt. The surgery hurt.
Dude, I'm sweating now.
Oh my God. Oh.
That was a
But
bad
that's
one.
like
Oh.
I
yeah.
knew it was hurt. Like I just went down
You
and I
think?
was like, I
That's
knew
why
it
when you
was hurt,
complain
but
about
I-
waking up with any
Dude.
pain, man. Look at that photo.
I'm trying to
Oh
walk
It'd
down
be
the
like
street.
that
I
could've
can't even
been
walk
you.
down the street now because my knee hurts all the time. But my kids
Yeah.
are like, I'm not going for the.
Oh
I'm
my
out. Sorry,
God.
like my dog gets the hard end of the stick because I'm not walking her tonight because I can't.
So
Oh
after
my
that
God.
surgery, how long ago? How
That
long
was
ago was that?
2020.
That was 2020.
So then I had another surgery on it for a couple other tears later. So I got that. I think it was like November or something. It was versus the Pats away. So I think I got surgery on Thanksgiving in Texas. And then that following summer, I had another surgery on it. And so I've tried to play 2 years after 2021, 2022. And it was just like, it's still awful. So I'm like, why am I doing this?
Dude,
You
your
know what I
knee
mean?
moves. Like he does
Yeah,
this thing with
I
his
can
knee.
move this.
I don't
He
wanna
can
see
move.
that.
Yeah,
No,
I don't wanna
no.
see that.
I'll show you
Oh,
before we leave.
No.
It's got a lot of play in it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know how anybody
But it's
walks
all
on
right.
it.
It
Like,
walks,
Oh
but
my
I'm so used
God.
to feeling like this that now this is just how I accept it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I'm used
I'd be
to
on
it.
so many painkillers, man. To like, if I
Yeah,
had,
bro.
it just like, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. Like when he can move the
This
knee.
just like this whole bone.
You
Like
know
there's
how your knee shouldn't
PCL,
move. He can, like,
I'll show
literally
you when I
just
lean
move it
forward. This
like
can,
it's
this can
Jell-O.
move back and forth, like so much play in it.
Oh my gosh.
Like this,
It's hard to do it right
it's
here
not
with this. I
natural.
can-
Yeah, it's like it looks like Jell-O.
It can just go like
Yeah.
this back and forth.
It's disgusting. Yeah,
But yeah, it wasn't
yeah.
worth it after that. You know, I got hurt. I played. Thankfully, I played that long. You know, some people get hurt really early in their career.
Yeah.
And then
they're
that's
out.
really because they haven't really had a chance to make a living and play enough and be established. I mean, you still get paid a lot in your beginning years. We really make your money in the, you know, second
Right.
contracts and extensions and stuff. So people get hurt early. I feel really bad for those guys who can't come back from those because it's just like now you really got to go.
How long were you in the league?
8 years.
8 years.
So
So
what
and
do
it
you,
was my 6th year I got hurt.
Okay.
So I had 6 years of pretty, like, not like I had injuries, but nothing major.
Got that big
Thankfully.
contract though.
It was pretty
You
good.
got the
Then
contract though.
They extended me during my surgery because I didn't think my knee was as bad. Like the doctors, I had a lot of tears and different ligaments and a fracture, but they extended me when I was hurt. So I had a 3-year extension and then I got like a 2-year extension after I got hurt and I was rehabbing. They're like, oh, let's just extend you again. I was like, all right, cool. And then it would turned out that like I couldn't really come back and play like I should have.
it was guaranteed. It was.
Yeah, not all of it, but a lot of it was like at signing, so which was good. You know what I mean? The Ravens are an
Yeah.
awesome organization. Like them doing that and just they're very faithful to the players, and you know what they are? They're very family friendly. Like I went back for training camp with
Yeah,
Brock
that's cool.
this past year.
Oh,
That's
really?
awesome.
They let him run
man.
around in the field, talk to the players. Like
oh, man.
they're really good there from the top
Mhm.
down. It was like nothing but good things to say about them. So there was special
That's
place
very
in my
cool.
heart.
Yeah,
you know?
man. Well, they're like I think I told you guys they're honoring them in a couple weeks. And Brock's gonna get
Versus
to
the
run out.
Eagles.
Yeah,
They're
Brock's
gonna
gonna
all
get
the
to run
Eagles
out
fans are
through
gonna
the
be there.
tunnel.
So
They're the worst.
I
Is that all the
nah.
Eagles fans are going to be there?
Yo, Eagles fans.
Yeah,
oh,
nasty
gosh.
for no
and your
reason,
cousin is an
dude.
Eagles fan. Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god.
sucks.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucks.
yeah.
Eagles
Yeah,
You
they're-
know, the Eagles fans are the worst.
They are
man.
the
It's
worst,
like,
man.
you don't have to be nasty for no reason. You're not even out on the field.
Right.
You know,
Oh my
no,
gosh.
but we love this.
Yeah.
And they sing that
God.
stupid song.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What's what?
Fly, Eagles.
Don't
fly
sing it.
out.
Oh, my God.
You like that song? Though.
Well,
So you played your whole career for the Ravens?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, this is a Giants household.
Yeah,
This is
same.
the Giants.
Same.
So, yeah.
Giants
So
are
really-
when your Ravens beat us in the Super Bowl, what year was that?
It's like 2000.
2000.
Yeah, where they have who's the guy who
Yeah.
the ESPN guy who's
Gosh,
man, I'm blanking on his name.
it was the two of them.
Hasselback? Was that Hasselback?
Who, the Giants or the Ravens?
No, Ravens
the-
quarterback was Matt Hasselback. Kerry Collins was, I think, the Giants quarterback, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he
team.
was.
And Tiki Barber was the running back. still,
Tiki
right?
Barber was the
Yeah.
running back.
I was 7 years old.
yeah.
Go to hell.
I was gonna-
So I was telling you guys before, his cousin, like that, like being a super fan, whatever. I feel like I'm a diehard fan, and then met his cousin the other night,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, sorry man, you take it. Like
He goes down to Washington back every Sunday.
every Sunday.
Oh my gosh!
For
Every
the
time there's a home
Redskins.
game.
It's like a
Every time's home
10-hour.
Why he has season tickets?
Yeah, season tickets.
Yeah.
To the
No rhyme or reason why he's a Redskins fan, by the way.
He said he just loves. He just.
I was like, oh, your
But
first
he's
cousin
your-
plays
he's
for the
your-
Ravens?
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
that's
a
what I'm
Reds
saying.
fan,
Your
like,
first, like,
yeah, it makes no sense.
if my first cousin played for the Ravens,
Yeah.
I'd be really torn. Like, I'd be wearing the double jersey.
Right. Yeah. or
Dude, my
something.
other cousins though, they were like all Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And like we played on Christmas one time, and my parents were home. They went to like their house for Christmas. They still had all like their Pittsburgh jerseys. Bro, my dad's like, "What the hell?"
Even during your game.
Yeah, he's like, "Come on, you guys seriously gonna still wear that? You guys,
Yeah.
nobody know. You don't know anybody on the
I
Steelers.
know.
Right? They're like,
You don't know
We just
anyone.
love Pittsburgh, man." It's like,
But
yo,
wasn't your cousin tell us like he broke like a TV last
Oh,
time they
Stosh?
lost? Like they
Yeah.
lost, he broke a
I
TV.
don't
I was
know
like,
how people
I
get
did.
like that. It's a little
Yeah.
too
Yeah, I
much.
That's a
can't.
bit
And you're
much.
like,
That's
I
too
don't even
intense.
care that much about it.
No.
God. Oh my
I
god.
mean, you care, but like, dude, I don't know how you break a TV as a fan. Like,
Yeah, that's like next.
I don't know
level
how that
stuff.
could really hold that much control over your brain. I mean, yeah, I don't know how to say it.
Well,
Like,
they
it's tough.
fan is short for fanatic, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there is something that triggers in some people where
Yeah.
They just they're just like, all right,
yeah.
who's my first enemy? The TV just
Yeah, yeah,
destroyed
just
the
destroyed
TV.
TV.
dude.
But he had no claims. Like, yeah, I've broken a couple TVs. I was like, that's not normal.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not normal behavior. You know?
You see all those on Instagram too. I mean, it's cool to have fans like that, but also like some fans get mad over certain things, or they like destroy players. And like if you go on whenever you're playing, like you just search your name on Twitter, you see some awful stuff sometimes. But it's like, bro, like why
Did you ever
do
get
you
heckled
really
like outside of the like when you were like
what?
kind of whatever going grocery shopping?
Oh,
or
no
something,
one
you
ever
got,
heckle you because you're face to face.
like-
Like, they won't necessarily say
Yeah.
bad things to you unless they're protected in a crowd at a stadium or they
Okay.
tweet stuff. You know what I mean? They're not
mean-
going to really say everything. Someone could tweet something bad that's seeming not be like, "Oh, what's up, man? How you doing? Nice to meet you."
Yeah,
You would never know.
but
We
you
talk-
never had that.
we talked about Nick eating donuts, but he's still an imposing guy.
No,
like
he's
you're a
big.
big
Not the way I walk
guy.
out.
Like, no one's gonna
Yeah.
walk up to you
Yeah,
and be
but
like,
it's- It's like so I was getting back to like the fans, like they get so mad at the players, and it's like, yeah, sometimes players could maybe like, but generally in players, it's not like you're trying to lose the game or like drop this ball. Like that stuff happens, but it's hard when people are like, oh, this dude F, and then people get death threats. They get
Oh my gosh.
attacks. You know, the offensive
Have you-
coordinator gets death.
Oh,
my
really?
old OC used to
Wow.
get death threats to his house. Like even the
That's
Deshaun
crazy.
Watson thing, right? He got hurt and everyone was cheering. Like that's just a little. That's a little.
Yeah, that's not
You
cool.
know what I
Messed
mean?
up.
Like
That's
Yeah.
not cool.
it's like he's okay, yeah, but like what do you? It's like a game, man. Like there's so much more to life than football.
Mhm.
But it's like some people take it so.
And they're
far.
all hiding behind. Like honestly, the
Yeah,
people
they
really
won't do it too. They won't.
Nah,
If
they're
there was
not
just
gonna
one
say it to your
person, they
face.
wouldn't say it to him. It's
Yeah,
just
they
'cause
never
they're
say
all
it to your
together.
face,
No,
man.
they don't say
They're
anything.
like, oh, yeah. Nick Boy, you suck. Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
You see him out there, they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, yo, I
yeah,
love you, man.
yeah.
Good fan." They're like, "All right, bro, yeah."
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get a
That's what he
photo?
just told me.
Yeah.
I suck and I should get cut.
Yeah. I get an autograph for my,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for my garage
You don't
bar.
deserve to be on this team anymore. They say all this stuff.
But that's good though. That
That's
people
just-
never
that's just the
like people
thing,
leave
man.
you alone because like I
Yeah,
feel
they
like
leave
they
you
would.
alone, or like people stare at you. But it's like, dude, I was just like a normal player, so it's not like, like
Yeah.
Lamar can't go anywhere. Like there's some players like Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
When I'd go out like to dinner with him sometimes when he was there, but like he can't go to certain places because
Yeah.
people are just gonna bombard him. That was always that, like people would come say hi, but like I'm not like a guy everyone knows. Like
Well, your wife
Through the
told me
thing.
this, so you didn't even tell me this. He would go to a different Home Depot or Lowe's, like 30 miles away, because he wouldn't want to get noticed.
no, I
'Cause
didn't
you
want to
get
talk to this
noticed.
one worker.
No, man, you would go.
stop.
Your wife said you'd get noticed every time you go to like the Lowe's or
No,
Home
by
Depot.
this one worker, and he would just like talk to me for 45 minutes, and I was nice to talk to him.
But so you
but, like,
drive
it would
one
be
like
all-
30 miles
No,
away.
I was like 20 minutes away, not like 5.
but way further. That's
Round
like,
trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
40.
didn't feel like
Yeah,
I
that's
just wanted to
like-
run in and get something real fast and get out. But
Yeah.
I knew like I'd be like walking looking
You
over
go
my
in with some
shoulder.
shades and
Yeah.
hello.
I kind of know that feeling though. It's
Yeah.
like when you become like friendly with people that you see at places, but you just want to be like in and
You just
out.
want to get out. It's like
Uh-huh.
no
Yeah.
bad intentions. I just want to get here and
Yeah.
get home and go to
Yeah,
sleep.
it's like I need a
Something.
screw
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
and a bolt.
And then I
Yeah.
gotta talk to you
Or
about my
something.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just
wanna
want
get
I
out.
just want to get in and get this done. But it's
Yeah.
just then the
You,
whole
you kind of feel
process.
like that in town here now too.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I
you
used
go
to-
in like you have to say hello,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
you got to talk about, hey, how's the kids? How's the family? Oh, you just had surgery. Tell me about it. Everything all right? Like,
He said, tell me about it.
Did you check for his credentials?
It's
before you went in
yeah.
there?
So as you're starting to meet all of these newer people, have you ever run into a situation where you didn't recognize somebody, but they recognize you?
Me all the time.
Yeah.
Because of my name and like who
Yeah,
like they're like,
yeah.
oh, there's no deep in town. There's no deeps in town.
I can guarantee it.
Yeah, so that happens. It probably happens to you more. It definitely happens to you more. People will come up to you a lot.
like the high school, the
Yeah,
Pokemon people. or
people come up to you
something.
more. Like every time he used to, he's like, oh man,
Dude,
nobody.
nobody comes. Anytime if I'm out with him, there's always someone random that comes up to me, and I'm like, dude, this never happens. Every time I'm out with him, it happens every time. He's like, bro, I told you this happened. I'm like telling you, literally never ever happens.
Literally, dude. Every time people are asking to take photos with him, bro, I was like,
Like,
what is
dude,
going on here? I didn't even know
Never
who you were, man.
happens, bro.
Yeah,
It's only when you're around for some
literally
reason.
every time. There's like, go Ravens. The guy's like,
I'm a
hey, I'm a big fan. Like, can I get a photo? Every time. Literally every time we're
Doesn't
out.
ever happen.
It
Maybe
stinks
because
for you
wherever
more.
I'm doing with, like, I'm going to Crows or somewhere that I normally don't go by myself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's true.
I don't see these people.
But like even on the boat, like when we're like on the boat, like somebody will see it and like they'll be like, "Oh, is that Nick Boyle? Is that Nick Boyle?"
like, bro, I'm just trying to catch some bass now.
Yeah.
Dude. But,
And they dive in and swim to your boat. I just want a picture.
Yeah. Well, dude, we were with our kid. We like both our families went out like to get pizza,
Yeah.
and then some guy just like we were like literally having dinner with our families. Like he's like youngest is sitting there on his lap, and the guy who's a football coach comes over.
Yeah, we're
Pretty much trying to recruit his oldest son to play football. And I mean, Brock's gonna be a unit. I tell him this all the time.
You never know, dude. He could like to play he could like to do whatever. He could play a
Yeah.
violin player. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's playing football right
It's
now,
hard,
man.
man.
What are
He's
you talking
4.
about?
He plays flag football. It's fun for him to go for 50 minutes flag drills. They do
Yeah.
flag drills.
I don't know. I tried to pick
just-
him up the other day. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
He's like
It's like
He
solid.
could hit
yeah.
the
He's
gross
already
perfect.
sturdy.
Everyone
Yeah.
grows at different times too. You
So-
never know.
Well,
You
he
know?
put a hit on my youngest because they were like trying to run.
We go in the bounce house. It's a crazy bounce house.
Yeah, because they were holding football. So
He said
Brock's
he put
obviously it's in his blood.
it on my
He puts a hit on the youngest, like slams on the bounce house, and my son's like, oh.
Gets laid out.
I was like, I would have felt the same way, man. Laid
But
him
Bish
out.
is he's still 2 years younger.
But still, you're giving him a little tour. He's
He's
just
still-
like this. It's like what?
Oh my god.
But Brock he could be a baby too. If he clips
He's
his
a big
toe or
kid,
something,
man.
He'll try not to cry, but then he's
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
trying not to cry in front of me, but then he'll like walk
Oh my
around the
God.
corner and let
Yeah,
it
let it out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
All right. So as we start to round third base, or I guess what would be the equivalent of an analog in football?
Fourth quarter.
The
For-
2 minute.
2 minute
2 minute
drill.
warning. 2 minute
Yeah.
drill.
2 minute
Right, 2 minute warning.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter. Predictions any this year? Super Bowl
for
for a
That's
season?
so hard too.
Anything?
I don't know. I'd love to see the Ravens go win the Super Bowl. Like that's awesome because I got a lot of friends and guys there. But like that's the thing too. I tell people like how they predict games. Like they could be the worst team they're playing, and they could be the best team, and they get crushed. Like it's so hard to predict football games.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And I even look at fantasy. The first year I'm playing fantasy, dude, I'm like all over the place.
You
You
suck, bro.
You
So bad.
I picked worse
every
in the
Raven.
league.
You picked every Raven.
I
I'm
picked-
like,
It's loyalty.
I'm just
It's
trying to
loyalty
like my
to the
guys.
team.
It's not-
I know he's
you
going to do
drafted
good
2
this
tight
year. I
ends
love
from the
him.
Ravens, bro. 2
I'm like,
tight
oh,
ends for
this
the
guy,
Ravens.
he's
I'm like,
good. And then they're like, yo, your bye
Two
week's gonna be
tight ends for the
awful,
Ravens.
dude.
yeah,
Oh
he's
my
got like
God.
7 Ravens on his team. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
I don't
My
know.
cousin had
I
to
drafted
tell him.
quarterback first round. Bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I got a question. Because you clearly had an injury that kind of sidelined
Mhm.
the length of your career. What do you think about Tua coming back after all of those?
Oh yeah, with his head things. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a hard thing too for anyone who's outside of him to tell him kind of what to do. You know what I mean? It's hard. Like you can get stuff from his parents, but like with all the head things, it is scary. You know what I mean?
very
Like that's
scary,
your
yeah.
main function with everything. That's
Yeah.
what. But if that's what he truly, really wants to do, and like that's what he thinks he's called upon, he wants to do, and it's his choice, then like what are you gonna say? He's dumb. It's
Yeah.
hard.
No,
It's a hard
it's-
fine
it's
line.
scary,
though.
man. I keep thinking
Like
of
if-
Aaron Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
yeah.
Yeah. Hernandez,
I mean,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hernandez.
Aaron
Rodriguez, I was like,
Aaron-
what?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
I'm
that is
baseball.
crazy. But no,
Yeah, but yeah.
But Aaron Hernandez
Hernandez.
was messed up before. I feel like it's not
Yeah.
from football. I think he had. I think
He
it was
had a
his
bad
childhood
gene.
trauma. No,
His
his
yeah.
lifestyle growing
Yeah.
up, like the way he was at like Florida and stuff happened.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just from getting hits to the head. Like he went crazy. Like it's different. So,
He
but
was
then
weird,
I saw
dude. He
I
was
saw
like-
one of the NFL things say that like no neurologist said he should not go and play. Did you see that report?
No.
I saw it. Yeah.
You saw that. Now that was kind of a little crazy. You
I
know,
thought that
like
was
you
crazy,
think
too.
at least one would be like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah.
shouldn't, but like I don't know. It's all up to him. Like, and it's tough. And like, as I'm sure it's hard on his parents because like,
Mm.
Dude, the one concussion, his fingers.
yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
go.
dude, that two
That's
in?
what happens. That's like the first
Yeah.
sign when people get concussed. They get like really crooked.
It's like
and
the
they curl.
Thriller.
Yeah,
I was
Like, yeah,
like-
Michael Jackson Thriller. It's like, whoa, dude, that's scary.
That
stuff,
is
man.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yikes.
Yeah.
but they kind of need him to play. You know, with the
Yeah,
way
Well,
he's
it's
going
just-
now.
yeah. I mean,
They
They
it's-
need to
coaches
play a
are-
little bit.
Yeah.
I asked you this question about because like you just retired last year. Like, how would you feel if the Ravens won the Super Bowl the year after you retired? And,
I have different stories. Like, listen,
I asked,
I
like,
always-
think about it. I
it
know
would
what
be-
would you guys would be like, hell no. I would be like, no. I would be like, no, I want them to lose. I'm like,
No, like-
I want them to, the year after I retire. Hell no, you're losing.
The
You
year
gotta wait
after-
like
the
3
year-
years.
the
At
year-
least,
no,
right?
It's not the year after.
But
if
you
they
had
won
a
and
different
won,
answer.
I would, be different. Like, because they're still all my friends. Those are all the guys. There's still a lot of the coaches there. So, like, obviously, I want them to be the most successful thing. Would it suck to see them win it? Yeah, but I'm not gonna be mad. Like, I still root for them every single week. Would it be like, oh man, maybe you know what? Then I should just try to play one more year. You know,
Yeah,
like.
I don't
But
know.
it was every year. they
I'd
could
be
take
mad,
it,
man.
bro.
I'd be
It's
mad.
tough.
I would be.
But
I
dude,
would be
if they're
dude, I'd
all
be
your
like,
friends that you spend so much
I
time
don't care,
with,
man. You could be my best friend. I'd be like, no, man. You're waiting at least 4 years, bro. You're waiting
I don't
4
care.
years.
No, you think
Then
I
I'll
don't
root for
know.
you again. No
4
way.
years until everyone's out of there.
Yeah,
So-
until everyone's out of there.
No, it's all
Okay, I want you to
the
lose.
fanatic, bro. You're a
Yeah. I
fanatic.
guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Fanatic.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for
was-
coming to
thanks
hang
for
out
having
with
us.
us.
This was
fun.
Thanks for having us,
Deep,
man.
pleasure
Yeah.
having you on.
Awesome.
And we got to do this again. We should do this
Yeah,
more
man.
often.
Yeah, I'll tell my snip story next time.
Yeah.
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 We'll be in
Yes.
Vegas.
Or you'll
Yeah, we'll have to bring some equipment all the way out to Vegas.
In Vegas, can people watch?
Yeah. I don't know. It would be
watch
like a
us.
shave party or something like that, right?
Who wants to shave this side of it?
Maybe we can get a network to sign up for that. We can do a little.
Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know if we want any cameras around for that.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh.
No, we
Yeah.
don't.
No, not at all. All right, folks. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening. Remember to subscribe, like, do all the things, and we'll catch you all on the next episode of the Friends After 40 podcast. See y'all later.
Later.
Yeah.